What do you got for me?
So, I don't know when this video is being released, but we're filming this not too far from the World Cup.
Yes.
You know what a sport is, right?
Ball, go there or there. Points.
Good. Do you have a sports movie you like? Do you even like sports movies?
You know, it was interesting. I was just talking with the World Cup watching coworker, and I was like, there are no big soccer movies. The only one I can think of is Bend It Like Beckham, which is British.
Right.
And I was trying to come up with, like, the iconic sports movies for, like, Field of Dreams is probably...
Right, which I've never seen.
And League of Their Own.
Yeah, which I've also never seen.
Yeah, so what are we talking about here, man? And then football, maybe Remember the Titans.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
There was Keanu Reeves was in one, but I don't think it's like iconic or anything.
There's also Shanghai Soccer? No.
Shaolin Soccer.
Shaolin Soccer, I think, with I forget his name.
Steve.
Yeah, I forgot his name. He's good, and I've never seen that one. I've seen some of his other movies. Moneyball came out not that long ago, and
That's baseball.
That's baseball. And I really liked that movie, and I sort of don't think of it too much as a sports movie, even though it's all around baseball, but I don't remember if you even saw it.
No. You found one that I haven't seen.
Hey.
There's Basketball Diaries for basketball.
Right.
I think there's more basketball movies, and I just haven't seen them.
Yeah. Well, Uncle Drew is out right now, which I guess is a basketball movie.
I don't know much about it.
You even know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of it, and
Yeah.
I've forgotten what I heard after.
It's not a Sarah or a Theo movie, so it's a Rez movie.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Field of Dreams.
Do you like these movies? Is it because there are plenty of people, movie watchers, who don't care about...
Rocky is a huge sports movie.
Yeah, there are plenty of... I know critics. I watch critics, and a couple of them talk about how they don't care about sports, but they enjoy sports movies.
It's somewhere on the Sarah stratosphere. I would probably place sports movies over mafia movies.
Okay.
But below depressing dramas by quite a bit. Oh, I loved Major League when I was little. And then I watched it recently and I'm like, ooh, it's really...
Not aged well.
Not aged great.
Yes.
It's...
I thought about that movie once during, the Me Too movement is going on right now and things are changing in Hollywood ever. And I occasionally think of Major League and I'm like, I don't know if I could watch that again and enjoy it the way I used to.
It's unconsciously kind of mean to women.
Yeah.
It's not deliberate, but it makes me uncomfortable as an adult watching it, and I still like a lot of the guys in it. It's just rough.
I don't think I've seen it since I was a kid, but I thought I was thinking about it, and I'm like, there are some scenes. There's the whole woman cut poster board.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. I feel like sports movies were really big in the 80s and 90s, maybe.
Maybe.
Because there's Caddyshack. There was all these different sports movies. I'm trying to come up with titles and not coming up with them. Did The Legend of Bagger Vance, was that a movie?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing, it's kind of a funny question for me to ask, because I'm not really a huge sports movie guy either. You know?
Like Rudy?
I like Rudy.
I've never seen Rudy.
Rudy is by no means an excellent film per se, in the film history or anything, but it is so charming.
Well, and a problem I have in general with sports movie stories is typically, often, they're underdog stories.
Yeah.
And it's often no one recognizes how good this person is, and then they recognize it, and that's validating. And it's what if you just love playing? What if you're not good at it, but you love playing? Where's those stories? I think you said Rudy is that kind of a story.
Rudy is that kind of a story, which is probably why I actually like it more than some of these other movies that I have seen. I can't say Moneyball is a better movie, but Moneyball is not as strictly about the sport as it is about culture, kind of changing a culture.
Yeah.
And so Rudy is in a different category,
I'm not against sports movies. I enjoy them. I actually know more about sports than that it's just a ball going in one direction or the other. I kind of know the rules of football and baseball. I know kind of. It's just I don't... The stories behind real live sports don't interest me that much. Actually, the stories interest me. Watching an actual game doesn't interest me that much.
Right.
So if you tell me, like, oh, this team always... I mean, Germany lost in the first round of the World Cup. Like, that's a big deal. Like, that's intriguing. I don't really want to watch a game, though. But I think that they don't make as many sports movies as they used to.
So I have two follow-up questions right now. Raging Bull.
Have not seen that.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's Scorsese.
That's Scorsese. It might be my favorite Scorsese, which I know makes me odd, but... And then my second one is, I've shown you a few 30 for 30 ESPN documentaries, which is what I think of as sports movies these days. I haven't seen any of the recent ones, but I think they're still cranking those out, and those were interesting. I showed you Reggie Miller versus...
I love that one.
Right? So I feel like, a sports documentary, is that better for you than...
Again, all my issues with sports just goes to not enjoying watching games on television.
Right.
I will even go see a game in person. I just don't really care about watching it on television.
You don't, have a rooting interest.
Yeah, I have trouble rooting for something simply because I'm in the same city as it. Like, what's the most interesting story out there behind a team? Like, I want to root for that team, not for, like, not that Los Angeles has that many teams these days, or it's changing. I don't know.
We have more football teams now.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. I think... I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I came out of the... I wasn't even in Los Angeles. I was in Santa Cruz, and we came out of a Ross, and there was a car that had an LA Rams.
Yeah, they're back in LA.
Are they back?
Yeah.
This license plate looked quite old. It was one of the blue ones with orange lettering. I wonder if they, pulled it out of retirement. Like, they couldn't use it before. Yeah, I'm not...
So the stories. It's about the stories.
I find rooting for something because of the arbitrary fact that I live in the same city is not a thing I like. I get it. I don't think you're stupid if you do or anything like that. It just doesn't work for me. And they're more random number generators as opposed to, fascinating stories, Yeah. Because a lot of people who like sports get into a person who moves from team to team and how their stats are changing. Right.
And that just isn't...
I don't like following it. People can talk to me about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's really interesting. But I'm not personally interested in following it myself. You've
watched Ken Burns. I haven't watched it, but you've watched Ken Burns baseball, right?
I watched half of it. My problem with Ken Burns, not that this is part of the video, is I want to binge, but if you binge Ken Burns, or if I binge Ken Burns, it is an existential nightmare because I feel like I've lived 40 years in a day, and I'm like, oh my god, my life is passing before my eyes, but really it's just that, I watched way too much information in a span of, 6 hours. So I got up to the really vile guy. What's his name? He was, the big embarrassment because he was, a loud racist.
Oh,
Ty Cobb.
I believe Ty Cobb, yeah.
Yeah, I got to Ty Cobb, and then and I might pick it up again, but yeah, you can't watch too much. I can't. I keep saying, this is a rule. You can't. No, I can't watch too much Ken Burns in the space of a day, or I lose my mind.
Okay.
There are some, though. What was the Sandra Bullock football?
Oh, that was,
Blind? No.
Blindside?
Was that one?
I believe that's called Blindside.
So they do still come out.
Yeah, well, they're still sports. I mean, and El Séptimo Dia was a sports movie.
But that wasn't a big movie.
No.
I'm just thinking, I feel like there were more sports movies.
I definitely think, I'm not sure what era, you said 80s and 90s or something, I have no idea. But I feel like we haven't gotten a big movie like that. Because, I think of, Angels in the Outfield, which is a silly movie, silly childhood movie, but... I think it came from that era of, there were a bunch of baseball movies and stuff.
There was the big Hillary $1 Million Baby.
Right, which is good.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Yep. Boxing and baseball seem to make movies more than any other sport.
Yeah.
Even football, which is odd.
Yeah.
Because, there's at least they seem to get better regarded. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not into boxing as a sport. You'd think I would be.
I know, you like guys hitting each other, so...
I don't like it when it's real.
That's fair.
There are wrestling movies, but they're usually documentaries.
They're usually documentaries. There's The Wrestler.
I didn't see that.
Right. That's a really good movie, I think. Isn't there another one coming out? No, there was one about Andre the Giant that just came out, which was a documentary. Yeah.
Missed it. I think I saw Beyond the Mat, which was a documentary.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen that. It's a pretty funky documentary, but it was interesting. It's like one of the first ones that talk about how wrestling is fake.
But also it has, like, Vince McMahon getting that guy to, like, vomit on cue. Some really kind of, like, and the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Is that all you want from me on sports?
That's all I want
That's
from
all
you.
I can say. I know there's 3-point shots if you're further away. This is in basketball. In football, there's first downs, but there's no second or third downs.
What are some of your guys' favorite sports movies?
Just call it a down. Just say it's a down.
What are some of your favorite sports movies? We haven't seen a ton of them. Me, maybe a little more than Sarah. I'm not sure. Maybe not.
I've had the Madonna song from League of Their Own stuck in my head for like weeks for reasons I don't understand.
Tell us what some of your favorite sports movies are down below. Give us something to talk about. I don't know. I've lost my train of thought.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.